Hey guys, welcome to day 6 of my world tour where I attempt to travel to every single country in the world without flying. Well, at least as little flying as possible.
Because you know, my Kazakh passport isn't the strongest one.
Even though I'm super grateful, there's a lot of countries that require me to have a visa. So, since I'm on a budget right now, backpacking and hitchhiking and tenting and whatnot, I decided to visit all the visa-free countries first, which is a lot in Asia. So, yeah, there you go. Asia is gonna be like my first continent that I'm gonna focus on in this vlog. And we're currently in Central Asia, heading westward. I already visited Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Uzbekistan. And we're hitchhiking deep in Uzbekistan right now and heading westward, right toward Mecca, as for the first season of this world tour. So yeah, you guys, welcome and enjoy. Yeah, so as you probably remember from last video, I was approached by a gang of dogs, stray dogs, right outside of this hay stash. And it was a pretty scary experience, but I remained quiet and they just left.
So yeah, as you can see, this is my tent setup with my power bank to charge at night. And it was so hot at night sleeping in the tent that I just need like a quick shower or some cold water because I'm too sweaty. Also guys, as a quick mental note for y'all, it is impossible to continue sleeping in the tent after the sun rises. So you gotta wake up, you gotta get up, whether you like it or not, whether you want to or not. And so yeah, I packed up and off we go to Khiva, Khwarezm. Looking back at this, I now realize how much I enjoy being on the road, and staying in one place just doesn't fit me. But I went to this hotel and I thought that they have a restaurant, but they don't. It's only for the guests, but they gave me food for free. So that was nice. And it was kind of an upper end hotel, and the food would have costed me what, $20, something like that.
It was like a fourche, so you can get whatever you want. And I got whatever I want.
Timur. Timur деген акам бақтырайбек. Тамақ болса.
So quick note, because I walked in like this and I'm dressed like this, people here in Uzbekistan assume that I'm a foreigner. Like, they speak English to me, and just in general, they don't think I'm a Kazakh. It's weird.
Ал енді қозғала берсек болады. Тамақ іштік. Келесі стоп Khiva, Khwarezm.
So yeah, as per usual, I hitchhiked. By the way, this building was built in 14th century. But you know, guys, the hardest part about hitchhiking is not the hitchhiking itself, it's the getting out of the city part. Well, gladly I did. As you can see, my cardboard. And just like in the movies, you know how people are on the road and a huge truck stops for them? One stop for me too.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum aka. Khivaga barasыз ба? Urgench. Let's go. Так, ішін көрсетіп жіберейін ба? Бөлшектердің қалай жүреді? Так, мынаяқтан. Мына жерде ұйықтайды. Ұйықтайтын жер бар.
So yeah, this is what the salon of a trucker looks like. Some storage area, it just looks so beautiful. It's such a warm vibe for me, especially now after having traveled in trucks so much. So yeah, off we went. The road is about 420 kilometers until Urgench, and we passed by some houses that look like Denmark. And there was also a greenhouse with a bunch of crops and stuff. You know, Uzbekistan is huge on agriculture. A lot of stuff in Central Asia grows in Uzbekistan. And we passed some fields, and it was pretty beautiful. Yeah, and here I'm just explaining that although Uzbekistan may seem very green, as a green country, it's just the major pockets. Most of the territory is a desert, but there's a lot of like underground water and the river Amudarya and stuff. Yeah, Uzbekistan is lovely, honestly. Highly recommended, beautiful country. Soon enough, we stopped for some food, for some lunch, and the gentleman fixed his tires or whatever. It's actually fun to hang out around truckers. They're kind of like masculinity archetype.
Жолға жарайма. Кезінде марқұм нағашы атаммен тие берсін. Жүрген сияқты болып жүрмін балалық шағым кезінде.
This is the truck stop that we stopped at. A bunch of trucks, obviously. And then, you know, guys, since I'm a vegetarian, it's kind of hard for me in countries that are extremely conservative and not vegetarian friendly, like Uzbekistan, to eat. But I managed to eat some dairy something. If I was a vegan, it would have been probably extremely hard. But this was okay. This thing is traditional Uzbek. It's called katak. I don't know, it's weird. While we were in this truck stop, we noticed the thermometers showing like 40, 50 degrees. It was extremely hot and we were forced to wait until it cools down a little bit because the driver was afraid that the tire's gonna blow out. So that's where we were for like many hours. I think we spent like all day here. Yeah, and I was so hungry and there was no food whatsoever, so I cheated a little bit in my diet and I adapted. There was like beef broth. It was without any meat inside, and I just kind of put my bread in it and ate it, soaked my bread in it. It was fulfilling, but it was a little guilty. But it's alright, you know, sometimes you gotta adapt to the road. Soon enough, I'll have to adapt real hard. You will see. Yeah, the sun was so strong when I stepped outside. It felt like someone is hitting me on the head with something heavy, even though it was just the sun rays. The sun was that strong, you know? And it was a burning sensation on the skin as well. I learned some Turkish because I am thinking about going to Mecca through Turkey, but I don't really know how to do it because Syria is blocked by the war and Iraq is not really accessible for me without a visa. So we'll see, we'll have to figure out visa or something. So yeah, the heat was unbearable and I decided to take a quick shower while we're still waiting anyway. 7 hours we waited for the temperature to cool down, and while I was waiting, I decided to look up the ferries because I was planning to take a ferry across the Caspian Sea from Aktau to Baku, as you can see on the map. However, turns out it's not possible. It's only possible the other way around, so from Baku to Aktau. And as you can see, the next best thing to do would be Turkmenistan, right? Why don't I just cross through Turkmenistan into Iran? That way it would be really, really close. However, the problem is Turkmenistan requires all other countries in the world to have a visa, including my own passport. So we have to go around the Caspian Sea, unfortunately. Just take a minute to see what I'm talking about. But soon enough, we started driving. Yeah, we took off and we drove through the desert of Western Uzbekistan, not Turkmenistan. Unfortunately, not Turkmenistan. Yeah, and by the landscape, you can see that it is getting much, much more similar to Western Kazakhstan, which is where I am originally from. You know, I was born in areas like these ones, actually. And it reminds me of my childhood with my grandpa. May he rest in peace. He used to take me out. He had like a camel farm. We used to spend a lot of time there. So, although this land looks barren, it is rich in my memory. Yeah, here you can see I'm tired as hell. But eventually we arrived somewhere. The guy, I forgot his name, but he was cool. Let's call him Timur. He dropped me off somewhere in like a garden. And that's where I pitched my tent and I just slept. I remember how cars were driving by and I was waiting for moments where there were no cars to pitch my tent, like to put it up and stuff. It was crazy. Oh, and while we were driving, we were caught in the middle of a sandstorm. It seemed big to me. It was kind of scary, a little bit. Not scary, but, you know, worrisome. I was worried that I would have to pitch my tent somewhere over here in the desert. And I was not prepared for that. But yeah, guys, this is it for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye, and support me on PayPal.